welcome back to another episode, family. Afro Senpai here, and today we are talking about the importance of expense ratios in relation to the funds that you pick up. Let's go. I was on the internet minding my own business when I saw this video, and I said, who's talking about VOO? Because I just did a video for my senior class about how you could become a millionaire by the time that you retire if you just invest in a simple ETF that covers the market. And VOO was the ETF, and VOO was the fund that I recommended. So when I saw this video, I was like, who is this guy talking about how bad VOO is? So I had to check out the video and see what was up. So I saw the numbers that he was putting in, and you can see basically on my screen what he had. And I said, man, he's right. And then I thought, what about expense ratios? What about dividends? So I had to crunch the numbers and see if it still came out all good based off of what I had previously recommended. So what he had put in is starting with $1,000, contributing $800 a month, $200 weekly, and then putting in the one that I had recommended, VOO, versus his new fund that he found, QQQ. So what I'm looking at here is if I initially contribute $1,000, here's the current price as of today. Here's the dividend. With $1,000, you could pick up 4 shares, and you could pick up 3 shares here. Your annual dividend would be $160, which is basically 40 cents times 4 because they provide them quarterly. Same thing over here, $4.80. So after a year's end, you'd have $5.89 worth of dividends versus $15.48 for VOO. And even if you contributed more, so let's put this to 10,000, you're still going to be about 500 for QQQ, and VOO is going to be basically 3 times that amount. So if I did, let's say 2,500, it's still about 3 times more. This one over here is just basically, if I had so many dividends, could I buy more? And also what this calculator doesn't take into consideration is the fact that he is contributing $800 a month. So he could potentially be getting more dividends. I was just putting this out here to see how does dividends weigh into the fact that you're buying these stocks. And so just having the mindset that you know you're going to get 3 times as much as 3 times the amount of dividends with VOO as you did with QQQ, you can kind of weigh that into your final decision based off of what you want to go with. But what we are really trying to figure out is, does the expense ratio play a part in which is better? And so that's what I've done here. So for my expense ratio calculator, I like to go to NerdWallet. And if you type into Google, let me go up to the top here. If you type into Google, NerdWallet, how a 1% fee, and then that's it, you'll come up with this calculator. So going back, going too far. Going back down here, we have our initial 1,000. We have our 9,600 because this calculator doesn't let you do monthly. So I just did 800 times 12 to get an annual contribution of 9,600. We're looking at a 10-year horizon as far as having the fund. And then the rate of return. So what I did is for this back test, we're looking at our money weighted return right here. So I rounded it up to 13. And then for QQQ, I rounded it up to 21. And then my expense ratio for VOO is only 0.03. And how do I get that number? You can go to ETF Database or ETFDB.com. Expense ratio 0.03, whereas your QQQ is 0.2. and I crunched the numbers. So all in all, you're getting 170. And I want to say that these numbers are different based off of what he got, because over here you're getting 189 and over here you're getting 170. And I think that's because the way this calculator works is it only figures in your contributions at an annual basis, whereas this back test is able to figure out your contributions on a monthly basis. So I'm compounding faster using this back test. So this back test is going to yield me a little bit higher results. The final numbers don't need to match up because, again, we're just trying to figure out which is better based off of the expense ratio. So right here we have 170, and then over here, this is QQQ. Our rate of return, we're going to say 21. Our expense ratio is 0.2. I still have well over what VOO is doing. I'm losing 3,000 to fees, but I'm getting almost 100K more. So while you should always be looking at what your expense ratios are doing, you also need to consider how good is my return. If an investment that I'm putting money into can give me, like, let's say $1 million, I'm okay with them taking 25K. What I don't want to do is have a weak return with a high expense ratio. But I'm always okay with a higher expense ratio if I'm going to get blow-up-tuations in my returns. So going back to my handy-dandy calculator that I made, boom, boom, what are we going to go? Bang, bing, bing, bing. Okay. So, and this is recapping what we saw here. 0.2 expense ratio for QQQ, 0.03 for VOO, gains minus expense ratio. We took the back test version because that's the actual, that's what's really going to happen because I'm contributing monthly. But I subtracted the fees lost via the expense ratio from the NerdWallet, and it left me with this amount, 282K for QQQ, 189K for VOO, giving me a solid difference of over 90K. Again, I'm okay with them taking $3,000 if it means that I'm going to get over a 90K return. So bow down to the information dropped. So we bow down, we give praise, we give honor to the Dream Green Show for dropping that knowledge. I thought I picked a good one with VOO. And I mean, even if you did sign up with VOO, you can still sell all your funds and then get into QQQ. It really doesn't matter, okay? But I will have to go back and make another video. I'll probably do it at the end of the year, just in case, because, you know, I'm not leading anybody astray by saying, hey, go with VOO. Having a fund for a year really does nothing in the form of compound interest, so it's not a big deal. If you have VOO, switch it out for QQQ if you like what you see. So again, shout out to the Dream Green Show. Thank you for dropping knowledge. Now I benefit, now my audience can benefit, and everybody benefits. And that's the beauty of constantly learning, constantly picking up new information, learning from other people. It's just a beautiful cycle of information, a beautiful cycle of getting money. And with that, folks, feel free to comment below. And until the next one, remember to smile, because you are beautiful. Peace.